Hi, I'm Clara McMahon, I'm the careers consultant for your department. We're going to keep this really brief because I'm aware there's another speaker after me and we're maybe a little bit over time. But it's great to see you today. Can I have a show of hands for who's in first year? Oh, quite a few, yeah. Second year? Third year? Yeah, postgrad? That's a really nice spread, so that's lovely, a nice mix. So you're all on different stages of your journey. Some of you have only just arrived, really. Hopefully you've settled in. And it might seem quite far away to think about your career, but I think by coming to this event today, you are really boosting your chances of finding something that you are going to enjoy and feel passionate about and have a fulfilling and enjoyable career. For those of you who are in your final year, it might feel a little bit more pressing, and I hope that you get some good ideas today about how you can further your ambitions. So, as music students, you've got lots of different opportunities open to you, so you're quite lucky because your degree is really quite varied in terms of the skill set that you gain. So, like other arts and humanities students, you gain a really great grounding in research, in being able to write, communicate verbally and in writing. But also, in addition, you get really great project management skills, being able to show discipline and resilience in terms of your practicing, in terms of being able to have feedback and criticism on your performance and being able to use that constructively. And these are skills that employers are really hankering after, so you're quite lucky in that way that you have got a very unique skill set that I think is really highly prized. And particularly going to a Russell Group University as well, that's also really beneficial. So throughout this day, I'd like you just to keep in the back of your mind that it's good to stay open to possibilities. So because of this broad skill set that you have, there are a lot of opportunities open to you. And it's interesting looking at where your cohorts have gone in the past. So say looking at the most recent results, which would be students who graduated in 2016-17, 43% went into music-related careers. So this includes performance, composing, arts administration, volunteering, and then 56.5% chose non-music careers, which might be a surprise to you, but I think today you're going to kind of have the full gamut of what people potentially go on to do. So you will have talks on education, on composing and performing and arts administration, but you will also have those who've gone into more sort of alternative routes towards the end of the day. So I'd advise you to stay on for that talk and just see, just to have a flavour of how your skills can translate in the workplace. Okay, so talking in a little bit more detail about what students have gone on to do from your degree. Loads. So we've had musicians and choral scholars working in cathedrals such as Peterborough or Winchester or York Minster. We've had students go on to work in the Philharmonic Orchestra, the London Symphony Orchestra, and the City of London Sinfonia. So this is really going on to something that directly relates to what you've learned in your degree. Obviously, you've just had the talk from the Army. Some students go on to become freelance musicians. And then others go on to education, so either sort of at primary level or secondary level, or with a sort of graduate scheme like Teach First. Music therapy is another option. I don't think we're having a music therapy talk today, but last year we did have a talk during the year, and that may come up again. I think it depends on the availability of the music therapist, but that's also another option, particularly if you're interested in helping people, and it's a nice sort of way to use your skills in a socially minded way. Broadcasting, so using your technical skills, particularly if you're on the more technical route. Students have gone in to have become sound engineers or broadcasting engineers. Yeah, and then I also have the opera, so Opera North and English touring opera, so some students have gone on to work there as singers or musicians. But also there are arts administration opportunities in organisations like that, where you can still be surrounded by the thing you love, but doing something slightly different if you've got good organisational skills and good planning skills. In terms of doing things that are not directly to your degree, so again, these are all companies that students from your degree have gone on to work with. So at the top there, so in sort of creative arts more generally, again in sort of arts administration, we've got the National Theatre. Recruitment is an area that some music students have gone into, so you'll see at the top right there, digital recruitment and Investigo. Civil service, fast stream, so I think you're having a talk from someone from the civil service, yeah. So again, that's using your kind of analytical skills, your critical and analytical thinking, your great communication skills, your writing. Also the sort of charity sector, so the Joseph Randall Foundation, which does social research, that is an area that students have gone into, either in sort of marketing roles or in fundraising. The Science Museum Group, so arts and heritage, that's another area that you could consider, again, in the kind of fundraising role or potentially in the education side of things. Looking at the time, I think I'll just briefly mention these. So events management, again, broadcasting, and down the bottom I've got a range of sort of graduate schemes. So graduate schemes, the UK is a sort of generalist recruitment structure, so that means that basically about 65% of jobs are open to graduates of any discipline. And that's particularly in the kind of top 100, times top 100 employers, and in the sort of finance sector, but also in a range of successful companies. And they usually give you really great training. A graduate scheme usually lasts about 2 years. And you are given sort of 6 months in 4 different departments, so you have a rotation. They tend to be well paid, they tend to lead to management and have a good kind of career path. So just to be aware that, you know, even if you haven't done a degree in something like finance or marketing or that type of thing, those options are still open to you should you happen to choose it. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about what careers can do for you, and it'll just be a sort of whistle-stop tour bearing in mind the time. So 5 top things to remember about careers. So 1, you can come along to our arts and humanities events. So we've got lots of different events every term, and they're tailored to you. Get involved, build experiences. So we provide work experience for you in terms of volunteering, also work internships, which we broker with different employers around the city, and also in terms of the placement year, which if you're in your 2nd year, you could consider that and, you know, potentially go on to that. Deadline is actually tomorrow for that placement year. Getting experience is a really great way to sort of dip your toe in, think about what do I want to do. It can be quite sort of academic if you haven't actually tried it. And you can look up resources, you can read on our website, you can read on prospects, but actually going and, you know, spending a few days observing someone doing their job, it can give you a real kind of gut sense as to whether you like that or not. So I would really advise trying to get some work experience if you can. And if you're really busy with all your ensembles and your work and your part-time job and what have you, that's fine. Just reflect on those experiences. Try to think, you know, when I was involved in this performance, what did I like about it? Did I enjoy kind of marketing it beforehand, putting together brochures, or did I enjoy kind of arranging it, or did I really hate that? Was I really rubbish at that? Did I just prefer, you know, the actual performance? And in reflecting on those experiences, you can try to get to know yourself a little bit better, to get to know what you like and what you don't like, which can lead to making positive career decisions. Appointments, so we've got appointments every day. We're open from 10 to 5 every day. We're just over beyond the shops, between the shops and the Spring Lane building, so not far away, so you're very welcome to make appointments. Engagement or opportunity. So I've already mentioned placement year, the deadline is tomorrow for second years. We've lots of events, so we have big events where employers come, and we also have kind of smaller events that are kind of Q&A panel events where you get to kind of ask questions and talk to people. Your strengths for the first years over here, so this will be coming up for you and it will be in your timetable. What it is a fully immersive personal development day where you'll be working in small teams and you'll be doing kind of fun activities based around 9 different strengths that we've identified in conjunction with employers as being the key strengths that they're looking for and the key strengths that we think York University graduates have to offer. But you will be observed by a coach who will give you sort of feedback, and it's a really great chance to kind of reflect on what you feel you're good at, and to have the input of a coach as well who will comment on how they, where they feel your strengths are. And then in choosing your job later on, it can be helpful to just be aware of the areas that really excite you. So a strength is something that you're good at, but also something that really energizes you, something that even if you're really tired, you feel you'd be happy to do it, because it's something that excites you and that you use on a regular basis. But actually figuring out what that is, can be tricky, and sometimes people get stuck in jobs where they're not playing to their strengths, where actually that job draws on their weakness, and that can make them dislike their job. So the idea of this is to try and find what your strengths are so that you can make informed decisions as you move throughout your time here and beyond. Okay, so have a look at our website as well. We've loads of information on there. There's not enough time today to really go into depth about it, but we've got ideas. So see in the middle there, we've got some activities there that you can do to get ideas about different sectors, do a little bit of research. We've got great resources. Also, when I mentioned getting work experience or volunteering, if you go to the Get Skills and Experience section, that will tell you everything that you need to know. Okay, so if you just want to look out for later in the year, our program, so we'll have lots of events coming up similar to this event. This is obviously going to be a really great day because it's totally tailored to you. But if there are other sectors that you're interested in that maybe aren't covered, check out what we've got to offer, both now and if you're in first or second year next year. It's also worth mentioning to the finalists and to the postgraduates, we offer a lifelong service. So if you want to come back to our big events in the future, that's absolutely fine. If you want to book an appointment online, or we can do sort of Skype appointments or telephone appointments, you're also very welcome to do that. Okay, and just coming up this term, so we've got an introduction to finding work experience in arts and heritage. That one is coming up next week, and there'll be some speakers at that. We've got an introduction to finding work experience in art, marketing, advertising and PR, so I'll be running that one in a couple of weeks on a Wednesday. And then we've got a really big event, which will be an evening event, where we'll have sort of 3 events running simultaneously with a panel of about 6 speakers for each, talking about a particular work sector. So we've got advertising, marketing and PR, big data, and policy and development. So that's a really nice day or evening. We have drinks and snacks for you, and after the talk we have all of the speakers have kind of stalls, and you can queue up and talk to them, and it's a great way to kind of maybe start building a relationship with an employer, but also they're pretty honest, they tend to be your graduates, and they will tell you like it is. So if you want to find out what it's really like to work in that industry, that's a great opportunity. Okay, so just to remind you where we are, so just past the shops, for the Spring Lane building. We've drop-in appointments every day. We've just dropped the online one on a Monday, so it's just drop-in appointments in Careers and Placements building every day, 11 till 1. And yeah, you've got lots of doors open to you, so I hope you really enjoyed today. I hope you get lots of ideas, and I hope to see you in Careers, and thank you very much for listening, and any questions? No? That's fine. Well, I'm going to be doing some appointments today with a group of students who have booked in, I believe, CV appointments, but I think there were some others who were interested, but I'm going to be helping with the graduation this afternoon, so I wasn't available to do them up past 12:30, but if you want to book in, my name's McMahon. If you go onto our website and sign up with something called the Careers Gateway, you'll be able to book through there. Okay.